Hello, welcome to today's stream. Next242 here, and we are continuing and hopefully finishing, finally, post-mortem. We got soft lock last time, so I have to redo the latter half of the game. Well, not the entire half, but just most of what we did on Friday's stream had to be redone. Which, it got easier. We were able to, blow through the puzzles, but we still didn't have enough evidence to give over to the inspector um, to judge Halloween. Our possible suspect, who we've pretty much cleared at this point, we know Mr. Dalpine, I think that's his name, is involved in the murders. He's also kidnapped Sophia Blake, who hired us for this. So we're just going to go in. We're going to present all our evidence, and then we'll see what happens. There's multiple endings. There's like 4 of them, I think. And, you know, we get what we get, I guess. So let's try to finish that up first. We're also going to start a new game today. We're going to play Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. It's based off of the, probably the most famous novel of the Western world, Journey to the West, which is a Chinese folklore fable, let's say. I don't know too much about the story, but I do know about the game, and the game looks really cool, and it's something I've always wanted to play. Never got around to it until now. So we'll get to that right after we finish up Postmortem. See what kind of ending we get in Postmortem. I'm hoping for a good one. Yeah, we couldn't close it out on Friday, so we're gonna do it now. I made sure we were not soft locked on screen. Off stream, I mean. So hopefully that's the case. We get a good ending. We gotta presume Halloween is innocent, but we gotta keep the cops from protecting the real culprit in this game. What was our last save? We were in the police station, so let's go to that. We're going to present everything we have. We're going to exhaust every dialogue option. Whatever happens, happens, but gotta give this inspector everything, because once we, you know, if we forget anything, we can't come back and represent it, so. DRS, thank you for the subscription and renewal. And Senor Jefe, how's it going? Both of you guys, hope you're having a good weekend. Been a little salty.
McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again.
I'm glad. I love that streaming gets you time to catch up on the backlog of games. Yes, that's the whole important. That's half the reason why I stream. I just got so many games in my backlog. Some of them have been there forever, but you know, I'm also happy after today. So tomorrow is our next stream. So tomorrow I'm going to turn back on the ability to use channel points to select games. I'm going to keep it at 40,000 because that's also helped me with my backlog. You guys have picked some really good games I otherwise would have probably not thought about playing yet. So it's all going to be good. Senor Jefe, gifted sub from DRS43. DRS, thank you. Very kind of you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the gift and for subbing. Yeah, we're plowing through the backlog, although it keeps filling up, backing up. We got plenty of games ahead. We'll also play the sequel to Still Life games soon, so. Alright, so let's start with this. We gotta present every bit of evidence. I don't think there's a wrong way or wrong order to present all this in. I think we just need to exhaust every possible dialogue option. We can't end this conversation. We can't tell them to give up and say, hey, we have no more evidence. I don't know what else is going on here. I gotta come back or something like that. Once we do that, we're done. What we want to do at the end is have him bring in the witness and cross-examine him with the evidence. That's going to happen off screen. We'll find out if he's innocent or not. Then we have to go save Sophia, because there's a ransom letter for her. So let's start this off. Your charge of murder against Halloween does not hold water. Albert Hulot was killed in the same circumstances as the Whites and Malay. So Malay did get killed. I thought he just ran away. Alright, let's start.
Your charge of murder against Halloween just doesn't hold water, Inspector Lebrun. Another man is dead, Hulot. Albert Hulot was killed in the same circumstances as the Whites and Malay.
In other words, the accomplice is still out there.
We've been barking up the wrong tree.
We've been barking up the wrong tree from the start, Inspector. The Whites never were the Whites.
The Whites were not the Whites? McPherson, what are you talking about?
What we really lost out on was that we had to go back to the hotel and ask the clairvoyant across from the murder room about the head of Baphomet, which we have in our possession now. So we kind of did several things out of order there, and we couldn't get the letter to get into the Templars hangout. So we got that and everything. So we ended up being soft locked somewhat, but we fixed that now. So we're just presenting evidence.
Ruby and Regis are not the real names of the Orphée victims. I have in my possession a ring that clearly indicates the woman's name was Faye.
Well, that does not prove anything, McPherson. What about all the sweet talk, huh? Faye and Ferry. Of course. Why complicate things? Do my Ferry with love.
My Ferry with love.
A letter. A letter signed Sophia Blake confirms that they were hired to commit a robbery. The letter is addressed to Faye and Jerome Johnson, Inspector.
Thieves? What did they steal then, McPherson? We did not find anything in their room, and moreover, no one has brought up charges. Explain that.
Epic and Prime Gaming keep giving me free games that look interesting, though. Yeah, my backlog and my stream backlog are two different things now. There are the games I will not play on stream that are in my backlog, and the games that I want to play on stream in my backlog. And then there's like within the stream backlog, there's like all the free games I got, including the ones I've purchased that I want to play. So you never know. I mean, some of the ones I got in bundles or for free turned out to be some of the better games I ended up playing. So you never know. And they do look interesting.
I don't know. In reality, Inspector, this entire business is extremely complicated.
Right. Listen, McPherson. If you find out anything else...
we closed out the conversation. That's messed up. Alright, we gotta talk to him again.
Ah, Mr. McPherson.
Hope we didn't screw that up.
Thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
Oh, definitely. Like, I'm enjoying Elite Dangerous right now, but no way to stream it. It's just too massive of a game. Yeah, I'm playing Sacred Gold. I'm playing that offline, and I've put 55 hours into that game. How Long to Beat says it's like an 18-hour game. How? How? I guess if you only do the main story, but then you never build up your character. So that's not a game I would stream. That's why I was looking for shorter RPGs to stream, and I ended up finding some good ones, which we will stream in the future.
If you have any doubts about Dalpin's involvement, I have something that will convince you, Inspector. A glass vial, taken from his home, identical to the one found broken in the White's room.
McPherson, Grégoire d'Alpin is surely not the only man in the world to own such a vial. It proves nothing.
Stop protecting Dalpin. He's the only man in Paris who can obtain these vials. The only one capable of putting this gas inside them. The purple gas he uses to put his victims to sleep.
Leave the vial with me. I will have it examined.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could game for free pretty much. You'll never have to pay for a game. Epic's giving me a lot of games off my wish list, so is Twitch, Amazon. Got some good ones from GOG. So there's plenty out there. And Indie Gala and Itch.io also have some good free games too every now and then.
Here you are.
Thank you, McPherson.
I saw an article on someone's Discord saying that Epic's losing like hundreds of millions of dollars, but I don't know how correct is that. It's just us kind of. I think it's just like someone speculating that. I don't know how much of it is fact. The platform lost money. Discord, yeah, it must have been the same article too.
Inspector Lebrun, what I have shown you is irrefutable proof of Elowen's innocence. I found the knife used to cut off the victims' heads.
Yeah, let's give him the knife.
Their weapon must be a
It's
knife
important.
of extreme precision, medical precision, with an incredibly sharp blade. Show me what you have, McPherson.
This is the murder weapon, just as I found it at the Alpine's home.
This is the murder weapon, just as I found it at Gregoire d'Alpin's home.
Thank you, McPherson.
D'Alpin. D'Alpin is dead. He's been dead for over a week.
What are you talking about? If anything happens to Mr. d'Alpin, I assure you heads will roll.
D'Alpin looks to have died peacefully of old age. Nothing like the other murders. I have a photo here. See for yourself.
Even if Mr. d'Alpin had died of natural causes, it would not prove Elowen's innocence, McPherson. Quite the contrary.
Well, I think with Epic, the developers still make money every time you buy a free game from Epic. Or download a free game from Epic. I think Epic pays them still. So that's how they have these exclusives. I think more so with like a Game Pass. I've had Game Pass, played a game on there, and then like Game Pass was gonna need to be renewed, and I would kind of like it wasn't worth it. So I just waited till the game was on sale, and I just bought it after the fact. So that can be done. I mean, people do that. I think Game Pass is more of a service for that. But overall, like, if I get a game for free, usually it's me complaining that the game I bought is now being given away for free. Never paid for a game on Epic. Yeah, I bought Ghostbusters when it first came out because I really wanted to play it. And it was like $10. No, well, probably less than $10. I had a coupon for it. And I think not even a year later they gave it away for free. And I was like, whatever. Like, I don't even look at the Epic sales because I know half these games are going to be given away for free eventually. Yeah, our libraries are really big. Remnant from the Ashes on Epic. They gave that away too, I think.
If d'Alpin has been dead for over a week, he couldn't have hired
Somebody gave that away.
to investigate. Do you not see, Inspector? Somebody else hired Elowen.
And I suppose you're going to tell me who this mysterious person is, Mr. McPherson.
I don't think we know who the mysterious person is.
One gold, one brass. One at d'Alpin's, the other at Kaufner's. 2 ancient coins. These prove that both men were involved in the murders.
Everyone has the right to collect ancient coins. Anyway, what has Dr. Kaufner to do with all this?
The inspector's, like, reasoning for not believing us is getting to be ridiculous. Everybody collects ancient coins, so they can't be the killer.
That is too much. Will you never face up to the facts? You know as well as I do that coins like these were found on all the victims.
How do you know about the coins?
A couple of anonymous sources are enough to keep me abreast.
Beauvais will get an earful about this. Leave the coins with me. They are evidence.
I'll leave everything with you. Maybe we should hold on to them. I don't see this part. I don't know because it gives you an option to hold on to the coins and then give it over to him. Let's just give it over to him because we do have to present all the evidence.
With this, you can start investigating the true motives behind the murders.
Thank you, McPherson.
Yeah, in that case, it works. The problem with Game Pass for me is that I just have such a big backlog that I never get around to playing the new games that are on Game Pass. But it's good for testing out games. Like, I'm playing Ghost of a Tale right now on Game Pass. And it's a really good, interesting game. It's not kind of like Styx, Master of Shadows. So my Game Pass is going to run out probably at the end of this month. I'll probably, now that I tested it out and played it, I'll probably just end up buying it. I'll still have my save game to play it with, so it's a good game. But it was great. It was great that Game Pass gave me the opportunity to try it out. I tried out a whole bunch of other games I wanted to buy, and I hated them all. So that's another reason Game Pass is good. Game Pass would stress me out. I feel like I would need to get my money's worth and play everything. Yeah, I would be fine with Game Pass if I didn't have such a big backlog of games that I want to play. Like, if I just had Game Pass, I could live off it. $15 a month. I'm not even buying games now as much, so $15 a month is more than enough, I guess, to justify buying Game Pass and playing all these games. Okay, so we presented everything, I think. But Inspector, Halloween and Hulot never met. Oh, we gotta do this.
But Inspector, Eloin and Hulot never met. He had no motive for killing him.
Yeah, if you use it for streaming, it's great.
But he killed him nonetheless. Albert Hulot was probably another embarrassing witness.
I don't stream many new games anyway, so... But, plus you get games with gold through it, which is really worth it, and that's why I re-signed up for it, because it was $1 for 3 months, and I'm like, okay, this will give me a copy of Gears 5. I could play that then and finish it. Which, obviously, I've not gotten to yet. Alright, so what else do we have? I do not know anything anymore.
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
So until proven otherwise, Eloin is my #1 suspect.
I'm not giving up, Inspector. Quite the opposite. I will be back when I have some news.
So,
Fine, McPherson. Come back whenever you
so
want.
wait, he's not gonna interview him? Are we, like, locked out now?
McPherson, I was just thinking about you.
This game is so, like...
Have you brought me any more culprits?
There's gotta be more dialogue.
I'm not giving up, Inspector.
See, we're locked out now.
I will be back when I have some news.
When you give him all the evidence, he's supposed to interview the suspect with the evidence. And he didn't do it that time, so we gotta do this over. This is what I really find stressful about this game. It's a good game otherwise. Story-wise, it's great. But the engine that they put it on, they specifically used this engine so that you would get multiple endings and the story wouldn't be linear. But in doing so, they didn't write it so that if you skipped ahead and did another part of the story without doing the previous part, that the story flows, the continuity is there. You kind of find out things when you're not supposed to. And with the evidence here, we're supposed to give him everything we have.
McPherson, I was just thinking about you.
But I guess we did something wrong.
Have you brought me any more culprits?
Now we gotta sit through this again.
Your charge of murder against Halloween just doesn't hold water, Inspector Lebrun. Another man is dead. Hulot
This is the only part of the game I really don't like.
was killed in the same circumstances as the Whites and Malay.
In other words, the accomplice is still out there.
We've been barking up the wrong tree from the start, Inspector. The Whites never were the Whites.
The Whites were not the Whites? McPherson, what are you talking about?
Ruby and Regis are not the real names of the Orphée victims.
We gotta go through this again and I can't skip the dialogue.
In possession a ring that clearly indicates the woman's name was Faye.
We'll be done with this soon.
That does not prove anything, McPherson. What about all the sweet talk, huh? Faye and Ferry. Of course. Why complicate things to my Ferry with love?
A letter. A letter signed
This is the
Sophia
letter.
confirms that they were hired to
The
commit.
real names on it.
The letter is addressed to Faye and Jerome Johnson, Inspector.
Thieves? What did they steal then, McPherson? We did not find anything in their room, and moreover, no one has brought up charges. Explain that.
The sequel, Still Life, is actually a better game than this. They tightened up the dialogue and all of the choices so that there's no soft locks in it, I think. So I'm looking forward to playing that and seeing how it compares to this one. Let's not be negative. No negativity. Maybe that'll help.
They robbed Grégoire d'Alpin. The plan was orchestrated by the same woman who hired me, Sophia Blake. This is a major con trick, Inspector.
De Alpin? Grégoire de Alpin, the banker? Macpherson, I assure you that a man as important as Grégoire de Alpin would have called on the police to solve this case. He has the means, believe me.
If you have any doubts about d'Alpin's involvement, I have something that will convince you, Inspector. A glass vial, taken from his home, identical to the one found broken in the White's room.
Macpherson, Grégoire de Alpin is surely not the only man in the world to own such a vial. It proves nothing.
Proves everything.
Stop protecting d'Alpin. He's the only man in Paris who can obtain these vials. The only one capable of putting this gas inside them. The purple gas he uses to put his victims to sleep.
Leave the vial with me. I will have it examined.
Here you are.
We'll hand them everything, too. Found the knife they used to cut off the victim's head.
Inspector Lebrun, what I have shown you is irrefutable proof of Elouin's innocence. I found the knife used to cut off the victims' heads.
The murder weapon must be a knife of extreme precision, medical precision, with an incredibly sharp blade. Show me what you have, Macpherson.
Give him the murder weapon.
This is the murder weapon, just as I found it at Grégoire d'Alpin's home.
Thank you, Macpherson.
Then let's tell him D'Alpin is dead.
D'Alpin. D'Alpin is dead. He's been dead for over a week.
What are you talking about? If anything happens to Mr. d'Alpin, I assure you heads will roll.
He's in line with the cops. They're protecting him.
D'Alpin looks to have died peacefully of old age. Nothing like the other murders. I have a photo here. See for yourself.
Even if Mr. d'Alpin had died of natural causes, it would not prove Elouin's innocence, Macpherson. Quite the contrary.
All right.
D'Alpin has been dead for over a week. He couldn't have hired Elouin to investigate. Do you not see, Inspector? Somebody else hired Elouin.
And I suppose you're going to tell me who this mysterious person is, Mr. Macpherson.
See, we don't know who the person is, but I'm not gonna... See, this option allows him to ask Halloween what he found out in his investigation. So we think Kaufner might be the murderer.
One gold, one brass. One at d'Alpin's, the other at Kaufner's. 2 ancient coins. These prove that both men were involved in the murders.
Everyone has the right to collect ancient coins. Anyway, what has Dr. Kaufner to do with all this?
That is too much. You'll never face the fact. As long as I keep this first option here.
But Inspector, Elouin and Hulot never met. He had no motive for killing him.
Elouin had never met the Whites, but he killed them nonetheless. Hulot was probably another embarrassing witness.
I'm not giving up. This is too much. Will you never face the facts? You know as well as I do that coins like this were found on all the victims. Let's bring that forward.
That is too much. Will you never face up to the facts? You know as well as I do that coins like these were found on all the victims.
How do you know about the coins?
A couple anonymous sources. We could tell them.
A couple of
Yeah.
anonymous sources are enough to keep me abreast.
Beauvais will get an earful about this. Leave the coins with me. They are evidence.
It wasn't Beauvais. I mean, it was partially Beauvais who told us about the coins, but we found the coins ourselves, so. No, wait, you said so yourself. This is evidence. I will wait until the charges have been brought. See, this is where I get tripped up. Do we do this or not? Do we give him? Let's give him the coins.
With this, you can start investigating the true motives behind the murders.
Thank you, Macpherson.
All right, now we ask him to ask Halloween.
It's strange, but it's true. Doubtless d'Alpin preferred to sort this business out in the greatest secrecy. Just ask Halloween. He's the one who investigated it.
I would have to check with Monsieur d'Alpin. I can't tell you more, Macpherson.
I'm not giving up, Inspector. Oh, this is
I'm
bad.
not giving up, Inspector. Quite the opposite. I will be back when I have some news.
It didn't give us the option for him
Fine,
to
Macpherson. Come
talk
back
to
whenever.
Halloween.
You know where to find me.
So,
Mr. Macpherson, I was just thinking about you.
how do we get this to work? We got it to work on Friday.
Any more culprits?
I hope these clues will help us prove Halloween is innocent. Let's go with this.
I hope these clues will enable us to prove that Halloween is innocent.
I will speak with Elouin.
All right, now he's going to speak to him. Here he comes. Okay. All right. So while he's speaking to him, we go try to find Sophia Blake.
If I
Hopefully she's
understand
still alive.
The Whites were not the Whites, but the Eatons, who are in fact the Johnsons. A couple of professional con artists hired to retrieve a relic at the Alpines by Sophia Blake. Also your employer, Mr. Macpherson. Yet according to this note, Sophia Blake is currently being held hostage by Mr. d'Alpin. Would it be the same d'Alpin we see dead in these photos? Do you understand anything?
It's just that.
That is to say that you and me are going to have a little chat to set this story straight from the beginning.
Lebrun, aren't you tired of making people believe this story? The evidence is there, on the table.
Sir, I advise you to go back to your paintbrushes and leave the authorities to do their job. Now, if you will excuse us,
May I retrieve my documents?
consider these documents as facts, Mr. Macpherson. And without facts, there is no proof.
There's no proof without facts.
Yes, and there's the proof of my innocence, Lebrun.
We shall see about that, Elouin. We shall see. Mr. Macpherson, goodbye.
Okay, so we gotta leave while they have their conversation, and we will.
I did what I could for him. The only thing I've got left now is my conscience. Me, Blake, and my conscience.
Okay, so we're done there, I think. Hopefully that's gonna give us the good ending. This is what we didn't have the full inventory of evidence for last time. We still have the head of Baphomet, right? We do. Somewhere in here. We didn't give him the passport. That's a sketch of the sculpture. And there's the head. Okay. Alright. So let's save it here. Let's see if we could try to find Sophia Blake. I know she's probably being held hostage at Dalpin's house. Just assuming that. So let's go there. Because if he's holding her, it's got to be there that we need to go. Let's go there. Gotta turn up my gamma here because I can't see what's on the screen. Gamma is so dark. Anything with DX7, DX8, in-game gamma adjusters just don't work. Okay.
Mr. Macpherson, did you know that in Tarot, the hanged man is
There
not
we go.
to death, but confronted by his destiny instead? Arriving at his journey's end, he is able to see his life again from a new angle. Sometimes, a man thinks of certain events again and discovers that he was tricked, betrayed.
McPherson! Help me, Gustav! Don't let him! He's insane!
This painful blow, this moment when our convictions, our beliefs, our passions are shattered. When you discover Your life has been nothing but lies, trickery.
McPherson! Help me down! He'll kill me! He'll kill you!
We're stuck in a cutscene, though.
He killed them all! That Kaufner! He killed them!
Judged! All guilty of having tricked me, betrayed me, stolen from me. Just as you did Blake. And just as she tricked and betrayed you too, Mr. McPherson.
Is this the guy who said he was Mr. Kaufner?
Baphomet is mine. It has been mine for centuries. It is my immortality. Give me back the head, McPherson, or she will be sentenced before the tribunal of God.
So I think he put his mind in Kaufner's body, I think. That's why we saw him lying on the table. You have lost your mind, Kaufner. You have been exposed. You are the killer. You're a monster. You turned to crime, whereas you had the opportunity to live in peace forever.
The Alpin. You turned to crime, whereas you had the opportunity to live in peace forever.
Their death is fair payment for their treachery.
Haven't you understood that nothing in all this can wipe out your suffering, your grief, your Adeline?
Haven't you understood that nothing in all this can wipe out your suffering, your grief, your Adeline?
Adeline.
The memory of Adeline lives on stronger than ever.
How can you believe in purity of a love whilst revering an idol such as Baphomet? Her memory, everything that is left of her memory is in my hands. The vulgar idol, the link with your past, your stolen treasure, Del Alpine. This is how you will perish by its destruction. Track back your precious treasure. Take back your treasure. Cherish it.
How can you believe in the purity of a love
Let's try that.
whilst revering an idol such as the Baphomet? You disgust me, D'Alpe. You are unworthy of your Adeline. You are unworthy of any woman.
He's gonna
Take
kill
back
us
Your precious treasure.
for saying that.
Cherish it. Right. You have the head now. Let her go.
Blundering idiot! Did you really think I would let you leave with my secret?
He's gonna kill us, isn't he? Nope. Looks like somebody shot him instead.
That was close.
Oh, okay. They'll set him free.
Yes. I owe you one.
Never mind that.
We got the good ending.
If it was not for you, I would still be rotting away in jail.
Come on. I'll buy you a drink at the Alembic.
That's how it ends?
It's not like me to turn down such an offer. And there's that cute girl that works there.
Be careful. People are not always what they seem.
Wait, they're gonna leave her hanging there?
Hey! Don't forget me!
No. You'll get my bill within the next few days. And the police should be turning up any moment.
So we just left her there.
Is Kaufner right? Was he really the Alpin?
What difference would it make? He's dead now. He might have been immortal. He's not any longer.
What some people will do for power.
Yes. There are people who would do anything for power and money.
That's the real head of Baphomet. That's right. She had told us that BB said she had made a forgery of it. So I don't know if she just gave the forgery to the clairvoyant or the actual head. But there you have it. Somehow we solved this crazy murder mystery. I like what we did with Sophia Blake. We left her hanging there. She deserved that. Setting us up. Kind of a strange ending to the game. You present the evidence. If you present enough, then you go to confront the kidnapper. And if either he shoots you, I guess, or Halloween gets out of jail and shows up and saves you. That was a bit odd. Thank you, Senor Jefe. Yeah, so I liked it. I think it was a little disjointed in terms of storytelling, mainly because of the engine that they used, because they wanted to have multiple endings and multiple non-linear paths to it. It didn't get the best reception when it came out as a point-and-click adventure game, but I've always wanted to play it. I started playing it years ago when I started streaming and never finished it because it was buggy. Figured out how to get past the bugs. We streamed it and we did it. We beat it. So that's the spiritual prequel to Still Life. All right, well, that game's over. I'm going to go back and look at the video of that ending eventually just to kind of grasp it a little bit better. All right. So we're going to play a new game next. We're going to play Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. Great adventure platformer, I guess you would call it. Let's get things tidied up here. Yep, Enslaved is next. Game I've been wanting to play for a while. Came out in 2010 on the consoles, and then they did like an all-inclusive version for the PC with all the DLC.